What about the Hollywood sign getting taken down? Can you pull that up? Do you mind, Nick? Did you see people talking about that? Because obviously, there's been a lot of stuff. People taking down monuments. Confederate flag. People taking down. I think the Cleveland Indians just announced today they're going to change their name.
Do you want me to look that up?
Yeah, maybe both if you can. I know you only have two hands, but I thought about, so then part of me, because I get a little bit angry sometimes about, because Confederate flag, I learned it from Dukes of Hazzard, right?
Right, and that's you have a whole different understanding of it because you're a Southern guy.
Right, I would just see it now, if somebody rode by with if somebody yelled the N-word and was waving it, I'm like, no,
that would be wrong.
Yeah, that's a bad guy.
That's wrong.
But I just start to worry, just when does it end, when does it...
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people think that because a lot of people are like, at a certain point, if you go through history...
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's clean.
No.
Nobody's clean. So do you just... every movie, everything. So do you just get rid of everything? Do you destroy everything? And then you start burning books, and then you just head in that situation. I don't really care about Confederate monuments, but then it's like, well, let's get rid of... Washington, Lincoln, let's get rid of Mount Rushmore. And it's like, where does it end? And the other question nobody asks, what do you replace that with?
Right.
What are we replacing it with?
Right, because you're going to lose a lot of branding. Even the university, George Washington University, right?
Yeah.
They've been thinking okay, do we have to change? There's been
they just change it to GW and nobody, they'll be like, yeah, it's GW. Yeah. It's like KFC when they were not using chicken.
Yeah,
it's KFC. And you're like, yeah, but what does that C stand for? They're like, I don't know, something crunchy. We don't know what it is. Yeah, it's just I can't imagine that anyone really cares.
That's the thing. Does anybody really care?
No one really cares.
Because we grew up going we would go from Mardi Gras. We would go by everybody would meet at the Robert E. Lee statue in New Orleans, right?
Right.
And everybody would meet there, black, white.
Right.
That's all we had. We had a little bit of I guess maybe Mexican or Chinese, kind of
one
unique
person
Chinese.
that might have been a Pacific Islander.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, gotcha.
I grew up in a town. We had a group called Wham, Whites Against Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't have any Mexicans, so they would always
was that a musical group?
No, this is not.
Okay,
this is more of a
get the torch and
just like a budget Antifa, Antifa, but that had to be home by 6 p.m. for dinner kind of kids.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was only 3 guys in it,
right?
And then they kind of attacked a Chinese, semi-Chinese kid once. There was no real follow through, But
is it because they couldn't find a Mexican?
Yeah, there was no.
Let's just get this guy. He's semi-Chinese.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother was
it's the best we're gonna do. We gotta show people we're about it. And there's no Mexicans around, but this guy looked half Chinese.
Yeah.
So he's getting it.
Yeah. Look, we drew it on our binders during lunch. This shit is real now.
Yeah.
We got to move forward with it. Yeah.
Wow.
But so then I start to think, okay, well, yeah, you tear it down, but then here's what I start to worry about is, say in certain cities, and whether they be Southern really or anywhere, because some of it starts to branch out now to Thomas Jefferson had slaves, and this person dated a black woman who was underage, and just different things where it just keeps escalating, and it's when does it, at a certain point, you're saying it's going to hit everybody, but then the people who live in those places, who associate with that history and don't associate it with it racially, and I know this is just a white perspective, but those people are going to be I don't want to live in a place where now the street that I'm on has been changed.
It's also why are we ignoring history? Why are we trying to get rid of it?
Right.
Why not just learn from it? Why not appreciate it? Why not look at a statue and go, yeah, that guy did some fuck up. Why are statues only of good people? Number one. The idea that every statue, it doesn't mean that. I never look at a statue and go, that was a great guy. Yeah. That guy was great. I bet he was great. I never have ever looked at a statue and went, I should think like him.
Yeah, totally.
I look at a statue and go, that guy did something, maybe good, maybe very bad.
Yeah.
He might have been very bad, but it was significant. That's what a statue is. It's about significance.
Yes.
It's not about moral purity.
Right. That was the guy was a role player. He throw up a Carmelo Anthony somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He kind of, people are 50-50 on if he's really that helpful to a team.
Right.
Right.
But I've never looked at a statue. I don't know who we're infantilizing people.
Yeah.
We're treating them like children. We're telling them, if you walk by a statue, you're going to automatically look at that statue or that person in reverence.
Yeah.
That's not what. Does anyone care? You know, they go, let's take down the Christopher Columbus statue in the middle of Columbus Circle, New York City. No one knows who that is.
Right.
The kids don't know who it is.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a. They're on their phone. They don't even look at the statue. Yeah. So the idea that like Columbus, it's a bunch. You know, Columbus is reinforcing imperialism and genocide. No one cares. Yeah. Nobody knows who he is.
Well, then it's like, should you take down, like, because there's, a lot of artwork, and I don't know if there's monuments, but of like probably like arriving in like Charleston, like slave ships and stuff that did. So then it's like, well, if you're a white person, you don't want to remember that all the time. Right. So it's like,
but you should have to look at it. You should have to be like, man, wow, a lot of this town was built by slave labor.
Right.
That to me makes sense. Like, you have those monuments, and you're like, I can't forget this history,
right?
You know,
but if I feel like if you're going to apply it to everything, it's just like, because some people might think, man, I didn't do this.
Right.
Why do I have to be reminded of it all the time?
Yeah.
But because that's applying the same psychology, I feel like, to the ones where you're applying it to, like George Washington or Robert E. Lee, or just put on Robert E. Lee's thing. This guy got second place in the Civil War.
Just right. This guy was fucked up.
Yeah.
This guy was fucked up.
And aren't we all? I
think it's the people that really are advocating that they take down everything are people that just want to completely remake or reimagine America.
Yeah.
So they start with the iconography of it. And they start with like the statues and everything. And it's like, we can all agree that America has some deep, deep flaws that should be corrected. But I don't think or a lot of people are not going to be on board for the new version of America that a lot of these people want.
Right.
Nobody wants that, where you don't have any freedom. You know? Nobody really wants that. And I think that's what this kind of America that they envision is an America where everybody is constantly policing themselves and their speech, and you're being there's surveillance of everything you write and say, and it's this weird, like, you want to rat on people in front. Like, I remember when Corona started, people were like, yo, go call this number if these kids don't have masks. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a rat. Dude, there's a kid skateboarding. I'm supposed to call a number and be like, I see a kid without a mask. Go get him.
Yeah, Todd has it.
Yeah. I don't want to inform on people. To me, that whole world is not... I don't like that world. Yeah. I don't want to live in that world. I'd rather live in the world with some of the problems than this Orwellian, nightmarish world where like people are like, I can't say anything. I'm afraid to have an opinion.
I'm afraid to meet somebody at this corner because both of the people it's named after were racist.
Yeah. It's just like, what are we doing?
Because then it's just people wandering around, unable to meet at certain intersections because they don't know what it means.
Or the weird guy who will only meet in front of the Robert E. Lee statue. Totally. He's like, we're meeting in front of Lee. You want to date me? We meet in front of Lee, and that's it. Yeah. We always meet in front of a Confederate monument.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Or just, or maybe like you add to the Now, I think that would be even a better idea.
Yeah.
Add to the monuments.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do a Harriet Tubman kicking him in the face.
Yes.
Do a Harriet Tubman doing a scissor kick.
Do a Harriet Tubman sitting on the front of the horse.
Yeah. Why not? It's funny. I think it's like in the absence of real solutions, people are like, hey, let's just take the statue down.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how about stopping police shooting black people?
Yeah.
Let's take the statue down. Let's just take this down. How about stopping some of the issues in Hollywood, people getting abused or whatever? Let's just take the sign down. Let's just take the sign down. That'll cure everything.
But see, that's where it's like, that to me would really make Hollywood, I think, if you took the sign down.
Yeah.
Then Hollywood's going to be like, well, what do we have then?
Right. What is the movement to take the Hollywood sign down? I haven't heard about that.
Well, sorry, and Nick had it up a second ago, and I...
Wait a minute. Can you go back to Indiana governor? Wait a minute. Hold on. Go back to the Indiana governor says all people over the age of 8 will face. Wait a minute. This is great. What was that? Indiana governor says all people over the age of 8 will face a face mask mandate. There's some 9-year-olds that are going to get thrown into paddy wagons, and that's in Indiana. What are you, 10? Yeah, get your mask on.
Yeah.
I love kids learning about government at 9, you know? Being like, I lose my freedoms at 9.
So different, dude. Damn. And are these kids, and I just wonder if the masks, how are they going to develop their world? It's going to be underdeveloped.
Yeah, I mean, we're
developed.
I mean, we're heading to a scary place. I'm all for like, wear the mask, keeps people safe, whatever. But I just think there's something hilarious about the like this weird age of like 8.
Yeah.
This like meaningless distinction.
That's when they know.
8.
Yeah.
It's like if you're 9, you better have your shit together.
Yeah. It's time to
you better
tighten up.
have your shit together at 9.
It's almost like the 1800s. It's like the freaking 1800s again.
Yeah. You're gonna serve in a war.
The Hollywood sign. It says right here, the Hollywood sign has been through some stuff. It said on there. Did you have an article? Was there something?
I haven't. There was one tweet. It had,
that's it?
It had 33. It had 33 likes. It had a blue check mark.
These are people that are on the right that are going, if you're going to take down Jefferson, Washington, we're going to take down a Hollywood sign. So this is what happens. It just becomes.
And to me, that makes sense.
Sure, I get it.
And that's when you start to look, because that's what I feel like. It's like you have to. That's smart ball to me.
Yeah.
If you are on the right, or if you are, it's like, well, what about the obvious, the Me Too. So what about all the shit that goes on in Hollywood?
100%.
This is a deviant place.
100%.
It's awesome.
100%. Yeah.
But it's risque deviancy.
Yeah. There's lots of long established problems.
Yeah.
Power dynamic issues here.
Oh yeah.
But the whole thing is like when Jenny Slate apologized for doing the voice of a mixed race character on Big Mouth.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did this whole thing on my podcast as a joke where I was like, it's not enough that she's stepping down, because her apology is very creepy, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, I was like, why does she, Jenny Slate, from everything I know about her, is probably not like a racist, right?
Right.
Why is she coming out to like confess? She's like, I've erased black people. I cannot believe. And it was very weird. Like she felt she had to come out and give this big explanation. It was very weird. So I just said, to counter the insanity of that, I said, that's not enough. She should go to jail.
Yeah.
She should be in jail. I think she should go to jail.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Every day Jenny Slate is not in jail, I will speak out.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, because I said it's not enough. So this is what you kind of do. When people go woke, you just go further.
Right.
You go further.
You go wide awoke.
Yeah. You go real, wide awoke.
You go insomnia.
Yeah, you go put her in jail.
Yeah.
Put her in jail. It's not enough.
And who are her parents? Where do they live at?
And where are they?
Let's share
Because we're burning that house down.
Let's share
You raised a racist.
Yeah.
Get them.
Let's share their information.
And what that's supposed to do is make people go, oh, yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But as a matter of fact, you get people on Twitter going, I don't think she should go to jail. And then some people go, maybe like a re-education. You're like, yeah, maybe like some type of re-education or something, but not jail.
Yeah. Next thing you know, she has to take 40 hours of student driving from an African-American instructor.
What's great is like, I'm like, oh, you're almost there. Like, you're almost at my crazy example.
Right.
You're almost at, let's put her in jail.
Yeah.
That's what you see when you tweet something crazy and the responses are like, yeah, that might make some sense. Yeah. You're like, what? Yeah, I tweeted the other day. I said I walked into a grocery store, and they told me to wear a mask. I took it off. I didn't have a mask on. I faked a seizure, and then I ran around the store, called this, screaming the storm is coming. And a lot of people on Twitter were like, good for you, man. I wish I could have seen that. Like, dead serious. Like, yeah, you show them. I'm like, yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Right.
But people are like, yeah, you show them.
People are ready. Well, people are looking also for anything that's against the norm. So that's why another reason why I think a lot of what you say really kind of stands out like a lot of times, because it's like, also I think you're finding like a seam of humor in this.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I forget to like just be light about, like just like joke around about stuff.
Well, because like you watch these shows now that are like, Ellen and Fallon, they're all at their kitchen tables.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Kimmel's in his living room, and you're like, what's going on? Yeah. It's weird. And then they're interviewing people, and they're interviewing celebrities, and they're talking about movies coming out, and you're like, this is so dystopian.
Yeah.
Like, it's so disconnected from the reality that I think people just want anybody, whether you're crazy or not, to talk about something that's actually going on.
Right. The reality
Something
of it.
that's actually happening.
Good evening, good afternoon, and other times. Thanks for watching that video you just saw. I mean, it was okay. But the next video you could watch could be way better. What if you watch a video right now that changes your life? Well, you could watch this one, or watch this one. Watch this one, watch this one, watch this one. Ah!